go.
Welcome back to Full On Football with our two football brains here, Donald Campbell, Simon Catanzaro. Don't look around, I'm talking about you two.
I thought there was somebody under the table there.
No, we don't have people under the table here. We're all up front, and this is what we do. Of course, let's talk about Adelaide United and what they've achieved, guys. I think I wanted to take this moment to congratulate them on this fantastic achievement. Qualification for the quarterfinals of the Asian Champions League, and of course done under extremely testing conditions. They had sickness, injuries, delays, and they still managed to get through this very, very intense match.
Yeah, I think Aurelio Vidmar has to take a lot of credit for that, because he was at the Royal Adelaide, see if there was 11 fit people there that he could put in the team. Because the amount of injuries they've had and players with illnesses, etc., he's worked miracles, and Adelaide United really have to be congratulated. And not only that, some of the games, people say, oh, it wasn't a good game. It was not a good game, but that doesn't matter. Winning is what matters when you come to a major event such as that. If you get into the next round, and they've achieved so much, Simon, I think it's been a full credit to the boys, it's been a full credit to the coach, and a full credit to South Australia, because everybody's egged them on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simon, I just want to mention something to you as a player.
Yep.
So many times you're going into a game and you know, look, we just got to draw. And you know what happens, isn't it? 9 times out of 10, Murphy's Law is you're not going to do it.
Yeah. It's very hard it is very hard to go into a game when you know you just need a draw, to just play for a draw. You really have to play for the win. And looking at the way Adelaide United did play last week, they definitely, in my opinion, didn't sit back. They actually went for a result. Very well coached, obviously, by Aurelio, and it shows the benefit of having a big squad and a strong squad. You know, you could bring in players like Milan Susak, who hasn't played in quite a while, and thought he was fantastic, and he's leaving the club. He hasn't even got a contract. So full ticks by me for Adelaide United, and congratulations in making history.
Now, of course, their backline worked very, very hard, and a fantastic send-off for Richie Alagic.
Yeah, Richie, I've said it before, Richie more than deserves that. It's a shame that he's hanging his boots up, but we know it's all for the right reasons, and it's his own choice. Look forward to having a couple of tussles with him in the next few weeks.
Yeah, he's going to be standing here.
Yeah,
so.
he is. We're actually be playing against each other, so I've probably got a bit of a point to prove to Sir Richie. But,
exactly.
Yeah, their backline was fantastic, especially with Sasha and Angelo. It's just a quality. He's just a class act, isn't he? You know.
Well, he saved them on a few occasions there.
Absolutely.
What I wanted to say to you, Donald, a terrible way to end the match, bad sportsmanship with what was happening with Lucas when he was trying to take the corner, and then, of course, when they were cheering Richie off, Christian Sarki's being hit with a metal object and gashing his mouth open.
They were Rangers supporters, weren't they, in the crowd? Weren't they?
No, yeah, I think they were. But a bit disappointing. But I think really when you think of the horrible things that's been happening in China, the earthquakes, flooding and all that, I think the people might have been a little bit depressed, a bit upset to see that the team came through a lot to get to that stage. They got to that stage and they're playing against, let's be honest, a team from Australia who nobody knows. I think they would have probably demoralised themselves, but their actions at the end, it doesn't surprise me, to be honest, because as you know, I've refereed in Asia many, many times, and I've seen all that happening before. I felt sorry for the Chinese, because generally they're very, very well behaved, and this time it did surprise me, but I have seen it in the past. But as I say, once again, I go back to Aurelio Vidmar, because his experience when he played in Japan for a year or two, I think that stood him in good stead. He knows what to expect, and I think he's motivated the players. And as you say, Oganovsky scored, heading that one off the line in the last few seconds. That was fairy tale stuff.
Well, what you say there about Aurelio is definitely true, because last year we saw Travis Dodd was the only one that had Asian experience, and he was the one that seemed to play the better season in the Asian Champions League. So it definitely does make a difference when you have that experience. I want to have a look at the quarter-final draw for the Champions League. Let's have a look at that and who all the teams are facing up against. First match is Saipa from Iran is up against Kurovici from Uzbekistan. I'm going to sound like George Danikian here for a moment. Of course, Adelaide United is facing Kashima Antlers, a big team from Japan. And the other matches from Kuwait, Al Qadsiya is up against the Urawa Red Diamonds from Japan, of course, last year's winners. And Al Karama from Syria are taking on Gamba Osaka from Japan, so 3 Japanese team, and then of course that's on the 17th of September. The reverse fixtures on the 24th of September. Some interesting matches there, Donald.
Definitely, and I'm glad we escaped from getting Gamba Osaka, because remember they put Melbourne Victory at the competition. They're a good quality side. I think the team we're going to be playing against, the Kashima Antlers, they're a great side. There's no doubt about that. They're a top quality Asian side, and any of these 3 teams from Japan, they're going to be formidable opposition. They've got a lot of good players. This team's got 2 Brazilians. Everybody talks about Brazilians, so I suppose they must be acknowledged as some of the best players in the world. But I think Adelaide, if they get a full team out there, it's just a pity, as Simon said, with Rich Alligates giving it away, so to speak. It's going to be a hard hole to fill, because he's been such a consistent player for South Australia and Adelaide United over many years. We're going to miss him pretty badly. But I think Adelaide have got they've got the experience now, and one of the big things is playing away from home. That's one of the ones you would say, if you're going to play for a draw, play for it away from home, not at home.
And of course, Simon, time now is you step up the next level now.
Yep, absolutely. And I really think, personally, I think Vidi will be fancying his chances with his experience in Japan. Kashima Antlers are a very good team, but since the Champions League induction with Australian teams, we haven't gone too bad against them. I think our physical style of play here in Australia in the A-League might ruffle a few of the Japanese feathers, so to speak. And to Donald's point, Adelaide United have a few Brazilian imports. I'm not sure if they can play, but I mean, they've got a few Brazilians there, and it's not just the Kashima Antlers that have a few Brazilians. So I'd have to say Adelaide United will probably fancy their chances of getting some sort of result there, and definitely a result here in Adelaide.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be looking forward to that. Of course, the home game that we're going to be looking forward to is the one 24th of September at Hindmarsh, where they do play the reverse leg. And we wish them all the best. We congratulate them, and we wish them all the best. And basically, we've got nothing to lose. They've got a lot to go for, and we've got nothing to lose. We can just go as far as we can.
I think we've got a lot to gain, of course. Credibility in Asia is fantastic. Once you get that reputation, you'll find that the club may or may not be invited to go overseas, all depending on the schedules in the A-League, of course. But if we can get past this one and make the semi-final, even if we get knocked out in the semis, it would be a great deal of credit to Adelaide and to Australian football if we get to the semi-final stages. But big hurdle to get over this one.
Definitely. Well, we do wish them all the best from everyone here at Full On Football, and I think the whole South Australian football community is going to be right behind them. So all the best to Adelaide United. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with a wrap-up of the show and just speak a little bit more about what happened during the week. Stick with us because you're watching Full On Football.